Hello guys, welcome back to the Lumley trading video. In this one we are going to be covering the Standard Deviation Channels Indicator and how to set it up on ThinkOrSwim. Now yes, you may be able to use it on other platforms like Tastyworks or TradingView, but really they're nowhere near as efficient and powerful as they are on ThinkOrSwim, at least not from my personal experience. So we're not going to be covering those platforms today, and we're just going to be focusing on ThinkOrSwim and how to set it up on there. So really, if you're a resident of the US or a country where you can get ThinkOrSwim, it's probably going to be your best bet. So again, this is going to be the end goal. This is how we set up the deviation channels, but how do you actually set them up like this? So we'll start from a clean chart and kind of go through how to set it up. So firstly, all you're going to need to do is just go over to edit or studies and then edit studies. And then when we're over here, all you need to do is search for Standard Dev Channels. And this is again, the Standard Deviation Channels. So you're going to want to add this a few times. We can start off with 4. So what you're going to want to do, now you have all 4. Actually, we'll start off with 1 just to make it clear, and then we can add them as we go. So what you want to do is firstly edit this deviation. You're going to want to change this to 1. So firstly, I'll kind of show you what this does. And the first one, we'll kind of just walk through what it does. So what this basically now shows you is you've got your statistical mean as this middle line and your first deviation on both sides. So that's quickly how you set that bit up. Now again, if you're setting up more than 1 deviation, you're going to want to set them up in some sort of color format. So personally, I tend to use gold as that first one, but again, you can use it as any. So the upper line and the lower line is what you need to change for it to be colors, because again, they're different. So if, for example, I put green on one, you can see they do change. So you're going to want to put on both the upper and lower the color you want that deviation. So in this case, gold. And what you can also do as well is change your middle line. So personally, I have it in dashed, and I think it's in that kind of color. And then your again statistical mean will change as well. So that's your first deviation done and sorted. So again, we're going to want to add some more. Now we got our second deviation, we want our third deviation, and if you go to the extreme of having 4 deviations, then we can add that 4th one. So again, all we need to now go through is just edit these. This one, again, the default deviation is 2, so we don't need to make any edit. I personally have this on a blue for the second deviation. So again, that upper and lower line is now updated. And now you can see we do actually get those. Again, the color hasn't changed, and that's because we still have these 2 here. So again, if we quickly remove these, now you can see we got our second deviation as well. And again, you can just edit that middle line. But again, you only actually have to really do it on the last one, because the last one is the one that's actually going to show. So again, we'll add on 1 more. Now we need our third deviation. Again, I personally use green on this. And again, I'll change that middle line to how I would set it up personally. So now we have our 3 deviations. Again, this is going to be the key ones. The majority of trades, if you are trading off standard deviations, are all going to come between these 3, especially if you're trading large caps. Really very rare that you see a large cap break out of here. Only on big fundamental news. For example, when you had First Republic Bank, ticker FRC, quite recently, obviously, off the news of Silicon Valley Bank and the banking crisis, that did crash. It did break below that third deviation. But again, it's got to be something big, fundamental like that to even consider breaking that third deviation. It's very rare that you see something like that. Now, we do add the 4th. I personally do have the 4th on my chart. Reason for that is, again, even though I don't personally trade small caps all that much, I do make videos on small caps because I know a lot of the people watching it on the Lumley Trading channel really like small caps. So for small cap analysis, that 4th deviation can be quite handy. So again, all it is changing that deviation to 4, changing that upper and lower line. Again, I have that personally on red. And then it's just changing that middle line 1 final time to how we want it to show. So now that is set up, you can see we got all 4 deviations from 1 to 4. We now add that to the chart. And now we can see, again, first deviation is that gold, second deviation is the blue, third deviation is the green, 4th deviation is that red. And again, you can add this, and what you could do as well is save this study. So save study, and then if you save that, you can just load it on multiple different charts. For example, like here, I have it on 2 charts. I have it on a 6-month and a 1-year chart. So instead of doing that exact same process twice, again, I have it saved, and then you can kind of just paste it on each one. Now, good thing with this, and as well ThinkOrSwim, which make it a lot easier, is the deviations will always work for that whole time length. So from market open to market close during whatever time frame you have. So this is a 1 day, 1 minute, so it captures all of that data. Again, if you go to a 5-day, 5-minute, these deviations change because it will use and include all that data. And then again, you can go even further out, like a 1 year. So again, you can get all of that data. ThinkOrSwim, and that's why I really prefer over other brokers, is it updates to whatever chart you're on, so it can make it quite a lot quicker to chart. Now, one last thing I do want to note is, again, for example, going to a 5-day, 5-minute to show this, is they will change depending if you have extended hours on. So you can see, for example, that statistical mean is 164.30. We add on the extended hours, and we can see that has changed by a little bit. Now again, depending on your time frame, if you're trading maybe on a smaller time, you know, probably a 5-day chart or less, then those extended hours could probably be quite helpful. If you're trading on the longer time frame, usually something I avoid. If it's on the 6-month 4-hour chart, I will have it on because again, most people look at it with extended hours. If I'm looking at the 1 year 1-day chart, then I will not have it on because again, it's what the majority of traders look at it at, because then again, that's going to be more the reliant level. So whatever time frame you're using, it's do traders use extended hours, and that's going to be the best way to set it up. Anyway, that is how you set up standard deviation channels on ThinkOrSwim. If you enjoyed the video, why not drop a like and subscribe, and why don't you check out this video here?